Hi you guys, welcome to my first ever YouTube video, and I'm going to be showing you guys how I painted this giant dinosaur head. It's going to be a T-Rex, and it was requested by my son, who used to have this painting hanging in his room but then got too scared. So we took it out. Now it's just hanging in my office. But this video is just going to be a process. I'm just going to be walking you through what I'm doing. This is not a how-to, because honestly I don't know what I'm doing, but more of a how I did it. So you saw in the beginning that I was sketching it out on this big brown piece of paper, and I'm just using super cheap paint, like honestly the cheapest paints you can buy, and some really cheap paintbrushes, and just kind of getting basic shapes down. And right now I'm just painting over the sketch lines with some black paint. Alright, now that I'm done with the outlining part of it, I'm going to be starting on the underpainting, and I'm just adding a coat after I struggle with the paintbrush because I don't wash my brushes. I'm just going to be adding a coat of white paint underneath the lighter parts of the underpainting, just to make those lighter colors pop a little bit more, instead of just putting them straight over the brown paper where they would have kind of looked a little muddy. So yeah, I'm going to be adding some really warm tones with oranges and reds and yellows and all that stuff, and you're going to see that a little bit later. Alright, once I've finished the underpainting, I'm going to start adding a little bit more details to the painting, starting with the eye, just kind of finishing it up. And then I'm going to move on to adding the kind of scales of the skin. And to kind of give it that texture, I'm doing this like dabbing motion. And I'm just dipping a very tiny brush into each of the colors without mixing the colors together, just kind of dipping it into each individual color and then dotting it onto the painting. And I'm spacing each of the dots just enough apart to where you can still see the underpainting peeking through. And you'll see it here in real time, just how I'm doing it. after I was done dabbing on those scales, I decided I want to do some sort of a background, and I was trying to do what was on the reference photo at first, which was like a big giant black circle behind the dinosaur, but I didn't leave enough room. I painted the dinosaur head too big, so ended up just outlining it and then trying to blend it out. You'll see I fixed the background at the very end. Right in here, I'm starting to go in with some black paint and adding some more details, adding these kind of like freckles. I don't even know what it is. It kind of looks like freckles. Just kind of all over the dinosaur to give it a little something more. I don't know, just the dabby paint scales didn't look scaly enough, so this is kind of just adding a little extra detail to make it look a little more realistic with the skin texture. Alright, and it's just about at this point that I'm ending the recorded version of this video because I thought it was done at this point. But yeah, you can see that I'm struggling a little bit with the teeth. Eventually I got it to a part to where I liked it, and it turned out like this. And there was a lot that happened off camera, and I will explain what I did to get this finished result. So on the top and the bottom, well, the top of the head and the bottom of the jawline, I trimmed out with some black paint because it was just a little bulky. And here I'm just pointing everywhere because I pretty much slapped on some dirty paint water everywhere. And I did this to kind of add some more depth and dimension to pretty much all of it because it was a little flat, and I wanted to add some shading so it kind of looked like it was coming out of somewhere instead of just a floating head. And then I finished the whole painting by adding more black to the background, just completely covering it, and then putting some little sticks to get, not sticks, but like some like framing wood, and stapling it, staining it, hanging it. It's a little lopsided, but I think it came out pretty cute. Anyways, this was made for my son, who was like 2 or 3 at the time. Now he's 4, and it took him that long to realize this is a little bit terrifying. So it's no longer hanging in his room, but I still got it. Anyways, thank you so much for watching this video, and I hope you like it. Please like, please subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye.